So here's an interesting topic that I think a lot of us are going to have a lot of mixed feelings on, all right? And it's about the next generation. I know this gen, it's been a year since we had this generation. We're still in the beginning phase, of course. And so it might be a little bit stupid of me to talk about the next generation already, but I do feel like this generation that we're in is going to last very short. And that's partly due to the hardware not being as powerful as we initially thought it would be. I think, and definitely, listening to what these companies are saying, I think this is going to be like a 5 to 6 year, console generation. I think we'll have new consoles by 2019, to be honest. So the question I have for everyone here today is, do you think next gen will be purely digital? This is something that I think when you look at these publishers and you hear them talk, and the console and hardware manufacturers, they're all talking about digital this, digital this, digital this. You can go on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox marketplace, and you can pre-order, download, and before release, you can preload these games on digitally on your hard drive. We see a lot of companies talking about we want to move towards the cloud, and we think this is really where we're going. The music industry these days is practically purely digital. They still have CDs, of course, but the majority of consumers out there purchase their music digitally. No one really buys CDs anymore. I know I'm one of those people that just purchases my music through Amazon, and I have the Amazon Music app on my phone, and I just download it directly to my phone whenever I want to listen to it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And if I do want it, generally what I do is once I purchase the music, I'll burn it to a CD so I can listen to it in my car. But in terms of games, I've always been the type of person who will always go for the physical side of things, because I personally like going to GameStop and picking up the physical disc and holding the case and doing the unboxings and stuff. I personally really like that. However, it seems that we're really moving towards that digital age where the publishers want us to they want us to purchase their games through the actual online stores like PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, because they don't have to deal with the manufacturing cost of creating the disc and putting it out there on store shelves. GameStop is like scared shitless right now, because granted, if this happens within the first 5 to 6 years of the next console life cycle, this is going to put GameStop out of business completely. In fact, GameStop may be a place where you can only get like an old classic games. They may completely change their business model and be like, oh, we're a place where we sell classic games now. And we may be going to GameStop not to pick up the newest releases, but to try to pick up those rarities that we can't find that we can't go on, PlayStation 2, for instance. We can't download games to PlayStation 2 or on our PlayStation 1s or, our NESs. GameStop may try to do that, where they're just, they completely change their whole business structure in order to survive in this market. That would really scare them, It's unfortunate because GameStop has, they unfortunately have a lot of power. And if you actually listen to, I've done some research in the past on this, GameStop actually forces developers to have pre-order incentives, otherwise they won't sell their game. And so a lot of developers out there, they have to wedge in some stupid pre-order incentive, otherwise GameStop's going to say, no, we can't do that. If you're not going to give us a special pre-order exclusive or anything like that, we won't sell your game. And this is actually a true statement. I've done some research on this, and I implore you all who are actually watching this video, go do your own research on this, because you'd be quite surprised. But I don't know how that would work in terms of it being purely digital, because we have a limited hard drive space. It may just so happen that they're going to try and stream games from now on, where through the use of the cloud technology on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, we may pay like a $60 fee, right? Actually, I think it'll be cheaper. It might be like $50, right? So just a $50 fee on release, and it would just stream the game to your console. No downloading; it would just be streamed over the internet, and you would have like a cloud library of games you can access at any single time, or it might be games that you just rent. You know, you might be paying like a subscription fee where you just rent games constantly. The internet today in most areas is unfortunately not ready for that. I personally am perfectly fine. You know, I'm sitting here at my house with an 85 megabit download speed and a 20 megabit upload speed. So even if we go cloud gaming in like the next 5 or 6 years, I'll probably be moved out of my parents' house by then. But you know, the internet speed is extremely important to me because of what I do here on YouTube, and so I'm always gonna make sure I'm gonna have the best of the best. It's just in those other rural parts of the country and in the world, you know, where it's kind of remote and you can barely get a cell phone signal. It's like that's the only thing that sucks about this digital age that it seems that we're heading towards, is that not everyone is going to experience it equally, you know. And I personally don't understand this whole, we're going to charge you $60 for the physical game and then $60 for the digital game. If the game is digital, then it should be a cheaper price, because you don't have to pay for manufacturing costs. I don't like how these publishers out there are charging the same price for the digital version of games, when it's actually cheaper for them to make, because all they have to do is plot the actual download file on the PlayStation Store or Xbox Live Marketplace. You know, it's as easy as that. So I don't understand why the games digitally cost the same as they do physically, because as long as they cost the same, I'm just gonna buy the physical disc, because, you know, I can look at it on my shelf and I can actually, you know, I can hold the damn thing that I've actually bought. So, but hard drive space is an incredibly important part of it, because, you know, these consoles, when they launched, came with 500 gigabytes, which wasn't enough at all. 500 gigabytes was nothing. It held like 8 games, which I don't know what they were thinking. And the largest hard drive space you can currently upgrade your PlayStation 4 to is 2 terabytes, or you can, you know, get an external drive for your Xbox, you know, your Xbox One, and get a bigger hard drive space, which is what I did. So I have 2 terabytes on both my consoles right now, and I've used roughly a terabyte on my PS4 already, but you know, I should be fine for the remainder of the console's life cycle, hopefully. But this is just, you know, this is just an idea that I had, and I wanted to ask you guys what you think about it. Do you guys care whether you buy it physically or digitally? Do you see yourself possibly having an issue with the next generation as we move to physical, as we move to digital releases? And you know, how much is it a deciding factor? You know, I understand. I could understand if I lived in some remote area, but I had like an internet connection, and you don't have like a GameStop or anywhere near you. Then maybe yes, you would want to do the digital releases. For me personally, GameStop is like 2 minutes away from my house, so I could walk there if I wanted to. It's literally no problem for me just to get in my car and drive there, and it makes for a great unboxing video. So let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you all later. Have a good one.